In Lesson 78, we're going to learn about landscape orientation for tables. Be sure to complete the Word Manual lesson after you look at Lesson 78D, Tables in Landscape Orientation, where you see portrait versus landscape orientation demonstrated for you. This is also in your textbook for reference. Then there is also a lesson in the Word Manual which you should complete if there is any question about what page orientation is or how it works for a table. Then we're going to move to 7832 because this is necessary in order to move on to make changes in it in 7833. Although I will not be grading 7832 itself, we want to complete it as a demonstration of the entire process. So start work and open a blank document for 7832. The first step was to change the orientation of the page. Then we move to the Insert tab and insert a table with 7 rows and 7 columns. Merging the cells for the table block, we're going to turn on bold and center. Type the title in all caps, then turn off caps and type the subtitle. We'll press Enter at the end of the subtitle because we need a blank line at the end of the title block as a whole. Then we go back and select the title to make it 14 point. Then we're going to type column headings and apply bold and center to the row as a whole. Be sure that you capitalize Z and I and P because this is an acronym. Then we're going to fill in the information in the next 4 rows. Once this information is filled in, I'm pausing to demonstrate how the emails are converted to hyperlinks. Usually you just tab to the next cell in the next row and it will convert to a hyperlink automatically. Then we merge the cells in the final row and type the table note. Now the information in the table is complete. We need to apply the final formatting steps. First, we need to auto-fit the table. This is going to make the biggest change in appearance. And then we need to center it horizontally on the page, select the entire table, and then choose Center Align. And then we're going to center it vertically on the page by moving to the Page Layout tab, opening the Page Setup dialog box, moving to the Layout tab, and under Page Vertical Alignment choose Center and OK. Alright, this table is complete and we are going to submit it to GDP for scoring. First we need to save it. Be sure to move to a safe place. Word will end up trying to save it in your temporary folder. Then browse for that file. Select it from your saved location and click Submit Work. It comes up with one error. So I need to find that error. There's a typo in the address for Anita Mills. So I need to go back in to GDP to fix this error before I can go on to 7833. I choose to Edit Work. Fix that typo by adding another 0. Then I need to Save As and go to my safe location. And notice that it has added a -1 to the name. This saved file needs to have a different name than the last one, so I'll be sure that I'm uploading the edited and corrected file to GDP. Choose the one file name with -1 and then submit my work, and I have 0 errors this time. So we are safe to move on to 7833. Now, we are in the right place, and when we click Start Work, the file it opens is 78 7832, the one that we completed previously. Notice that it has S for saved in the title. Now this could be confusing because you've got 7832 open when you're trying to work on 7833, but that is correct. You need to just go on and make the changes in this document. Now we are going to step 1, change Ronald Dahl's address to this, 376 West Lane Avenue. And then we are going to add, in step 2, information for another travel agent in a new row that is just above the table note. So this is how we insert that row. Select the Anita Mills row, and in the Table Tools Layout ribbon, insert a row below. The reason that we do it this way instead of inserting a row above the footnote row is that if we selected the footnote row, the new one would have no divided cells. It would be a merged row. So here we are ready to insert Mike Cassidy. Now here we are in a dilemma because in order for that email address to convert to a hyperlink, we need to add a keystroke. Now it could have been a tab to move to the next row, and even though that's already typed, we can still do that. And there we have that converted email address. Let me show you something else in case you get into a jam. You can insert a space which converts the email address to a hyperlink, but then we have to get rid of that extra space in the cell. Now you will find that a backspace does not work because that erases the hyperlink. But if you insert your cursor before the space and press delete, that works to retain the hyperlink. Okay, now step 3, we're going to change the table note, and it is going to read as follows and have a hyperlink. Now, if you end up having a keystroke error show up in GDP for your hyperlink, remember that there are no spaces in this travel link, and be sure and check every letter compared to the original. Alright, that is all the changes we made to this table, but I will be grading to be sure that you completed everything correctly as a carryover from the first table, 7832, in addition to any changes that were made for 7833. Now let us save this document and submit it for scoring to be sure that this process goes as it should. This time it is saved as 7832S. You can change the name, but I am just using what is supplied automatically. And remember that this is the file you will be uploading for 7833. Okay, now we are on the correct page. We're going to browse for that file. Here it is, 7832S. And now we can submit it, and it is scored with 0 errors here. So now that file that you just uploaded will appear in your portfolio. This is sorted by date, and so we see it's right here. If you needed to make any changes at this point, you can always come back here and collect it. You can open it up, see the details, and open it in Word. And this list can also be sorted in other ways. Often, when I am checking to be sure that you've done everything, I sort by lesson instead of date. Click it once, you have it in ascending order, and I usually sort it in descending order so the most recent ones are at the top. Then I can go through here and check that everything is finished. There are many ways to sort and filter this list that you can make use of to make your life easier as you are looking for and working with your documents. That should be it though for 7833.